Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Thank you for being with us today. We do begin with a check on the forecast. It was a little bit cooler out there, certainly this morning, and it looks like it may continue throughout the week with some rain too. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is outdoors in the Weather Center with what we need to know. Hi, Thomas.
Hey there, happy Monday to you, Laura. And for this afternoon, plenty of sunshine overhead. That is great, but it does still feel a little bit cooler overall. Two things happening. One, daylight time. So this time right now was actually 11 a.m. last week. So it's not quite apples to apples if you're looking at just noon temperatures. But the second thing, and most importantly, we did have this cold front pass through during the overnight hours. Went through pretty quietly in Spokane. We did not get any rainfall, and really all the rain that occurred this morning has now really fizzled out. Might still be a little leftover sprinkle around Lewiston right now. Otherwise, we are looking at, I would call this mostly sunny. Yeah, there is quite a few some high level haze out there, but maybe not enough to officially call this mostly cloudy. So I am adjusting my forecast accordingly. We're at currently 44 degrees. Should only be about 49, even with a decent amount of sunshine today. Again, big reason for that, the cooler air mass that is coming in. Nice gentle westerly breeze just allowing for that to happen. But while things look pretty much drier for today and tomorrow, not so much for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll show you that next storm system that passes through and how much cooler the rest of this week is going to be. So your forecast is coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Thomas, thank you so much. We do have a construction alert for you this afternoon. Today, a section of North Freya Street is closing for a water main replacement. And KREM 2's Regan Gallo showing us how that work is going to impact us, the drivers.
Well, a 30-inch main water line along North Freya Street will be worked on starting today through this summer, and cars have already been stopped as they hit that detour sign. Now, the project is going to be happening between Garland to Wellesley Avenue, but the city says that this is to improve both the roadways, the sidewalks, and for storm management features. But what does this mean for our drivers and their commutes? Well, drivers traveling south on North Freya will detour west at East Wellesley Avenue to Haven Street and continue southbound to North Market Street. Drivers will then reconnect with North Freya from East Euclid Avenue. If you are driving north on North Freya Street, however, you will detour west at East Euclid Avenue to North Market Street and continue north. You will reconnect with North Freya from East Wellesley Avenue. And a few other things, the city wants drivers to drive slow, be aware, and be alert of all the detour signs around. Businesses and post offices will still have local access, and if you're going to the Esmeralda Golf Course, you will still have access from North Freya Street via East Euclid Avenue, as well as East Frederick Avenue. I'm reporting in North Spokane on North Freya Street. Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
And we do have another construction alert to tell you about. Drivers who use I-90 between Liberty Lake and the Idaho state line should expect delays tonight. Crews will be installing and testing cameras at the Harvard Road interchange, which means the Harvard Road eastbound ramp will be closed starting at 6 o'clock this evening. One right lane of I-90 East will also close shortly after the ramp. Officials hope to reopen around 1 a.m. tomorrow before the morning commute, so fingers crossed there. Also, this coming in new at noon, a beloved Spokane business has now reopened its doors in a new location. Today is the first lunch service for Domini's Sandwiches in its new home on South Howard Street. By the way, just 2 blocks away from its original location. The original location shut down when the owner retired back in December. You may have watched that story here on KREM 2. The new owner worked at Domini's for more than a decade before buying the business. Longtime fans, you'll be happy to know that the new location is keeping the same menu. Well, it is a big day at the WCC Tournament in Las Vegas, where 3 of our local teams tip off over the next few hours. They're all hoping to land an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn is at the tournament right now, and we'll have live coverage throughout our newscast later today. So for now, here's a look at what to watch and where to watch the action as it's getting started with Gonzaga women taking on Oregon State in the semifinals. The Zags are the top seed in the tournament after winning the regular season title. Gonzaga and Oregon State split their 2 matchups earlier this season. The winner moves on to the championship game tomorrow. And on the other side of the bracket, the Washington State University women playing Portland later today. The Cougs are coming off a big win over Pacific yesterday in their opening round of the tournament. WSU tips off against the Pilots. That's coming up at 2:30. And then later today, the Gonzaga men playing their first game in the WCC Tournament. The Zags face San Francisco tonight at 8:30. Gonzaga is the number 2 seed in the tournament behind St. Mary's. The Zags have already beaten San Francisco twice this season. San Francisco comes into the game after beating the Cougs last night. And there is a lot on the line, of course, for the Zags as they look to improve their potential seeding for the NCAA tournament. Andy Patton with our Locked On Zags team has a look at what Gonzaga needs to do to win the game.
I think for Gonzaga, a 9-day gap, knowing you're playing a team that you already played and beat by 20 the last time you played them. You're looking ahead to that St. Mary's game. There's just a lot of external factors that could cause a slow start. And for San Francisco, they got a little bit of momentum after a win. It was an emotional win for them. And I think they just are going to come into this game ready to go right away. And if Gonzaga's kind of sleepwalks through the first half of this game, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to lose, but it's going to make it so they have to dig themselves out of a hole. We've seen Gonzaga do that a handful of times this year, but San Francisco is a good enough team that you don't want to have to dig yourself out of a hole against this team. You want to avoid that if you can.
So to hear Andy's full keys to the game, check out the latest episode of Locked On Zags. It is streaming right now on KREM 2 Plus. Download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch for free. And one more basketball note, the University of Idaho women's and men's teams are playing today in the Big Sky Tournament. We'll have updates on the Vandals later tonight in KREM 2 Sports. All right, 12:07 coming in new at noon. It looks like the Seahawks have found their next franchise quarterback. Multiple sources, including both ESPN and the AP, reporting that Seattle is signing free agent Sam Darnold. Darnold is a former top 5 pick who put together the best season of his career last year in Minnesota. The deal is reportedly worth $100 million for 3 years. Darnold will replace Geno Smith, who was traded to the Raiders last week.